1 vote, 2 vote, 3 vote for without echo. Who's gonna open a door?
Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with the desired
That was a good one.
mutations. They call themselves the Bad Batch.
Oh no. You see Yellow Snow's coming?
Yeah. Gotta go watch it, bud. For those that are watching on YouTube, he said, what, did Echo die?
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Bad Batch-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew. And Jeremiah spoiled some quick spoilers.
That wasn't a spoiler at all. If you're not watching the show, you shouldn't be watching the stream or listen to this episode. So you haven't watched the episodes, 2 episodes, leave and then come back. Because we are talking about
because what you just said is actually an episode
7 and 8.
Yes.
Episode The Clone Conspiracy and Truth and Consequences. So it was a 2-episode arc, just like we were hoping. When I watched the first episode, I was like, they could end it here and do something different. But luckily, they are one story, a 2-episode arc. So
yeah, I'm glad they didn't end it and then like a couple weeks down the road we get it.
Right.
Like
but,
old Clone Wars.
But Drew,
do stuff.
What was your overall thoughts of this episode?
It's about time. It's about time we do something. Like last week was better, but this week though, this is what I'm like. Like there was the couple first episodes of this season were like this, like violent, crazy, people dying, really good, and then like lol, really bad episodes that still haven't really done anything to the show at all. And then bam, this one. And yeah, I was really hoping by the title that this was going to be what it was. I'm glad that I was right. This episode was all the title, and it was really good. It was really dope. I was really happy.
Yes, this was an amazing 2-episode arc. I would say this might be a hot take. These are the best 2 episodes of all the Bad Batch, seasons 1 and 2 so far.
Didn't you say though, like the Cody episode was like one of the best episodes of all of Clone Wars?
I didn't say that.
What?
I said that was like one of the best episodes of Bad Batch, but we were only 2 episodes in, so it was like not a lot to.
Do you think these 2 episodes are really good? Like the story.
Because first season we have the first episode, which was an hour and 15 minutes, which was amazing. Yeah. You had the Order 66 episode where Wrecker goes crazy, which was amazing.
That's true.
And then you had like the 2-episode like finale thing last season where Camino was destroyed, which was really good. But this one was just plot, like intense plot. This is everything we've wanted. This is like everything I want Star Wars to be.
This is like the heist episode and the bootleg pod race episode. Like, why? Just get rid of them. Like,
well, it's because they probably, here's the thing. Spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1. Emperor Palpatine was in the second episode, and the voice was Ian McDiarmid, so they probably put all their money on to hire him, so they couldn't afford.
That's true.
All these episodes that were high quality. So, okay, we're going to do a racing episode because we just spent an extra $2 million paying Ian McDiarmid for like
cost that much. He was at this
2 minutes of dialogue, but
I don't think it cost that much. But I mean, I went to the bathroom next to him. He don't cost that much.
But yeah, so hopefully, moving on through the season, that we're gonna be. I doubt we're gonna have this high caliber episode next week.
No,
but
next week is gonna be
but
another
I'm
lull,
still I'm
probably.
hoping that it's
But
gonna
I don't
be
know
still pretty
because
good because we're done with the first half is officially done. So now we got 16 more episodes to go,
yeah, and like I said, I don't know because I think
or
the
eight
fact that
episodes.
spoilers again, 3, 2, 1, Echo is no longer with the Bad Batch. I think that's gonna create some tense moments for the Bad Batch,
Yeah, they're gonna get stuck
no matter
behind a
what.
locked door and they're not gonna be able to get out. Like,
True. That
like
Gonk is not gonna open doors for them. They're gonna
which
have to get
I guess that's the one negative thing that I have about
a Gonk
him
droid.
leaving. No, is about Echo leaving is they didn't really set it up as much as they should have been
I don't know. I felt like
pointing
it's
towards
been
that the
set up.
whole season.
I
Like
felt like it was. I was
how?
like, at any moment he's gonna dip because he kept complaining about
Well, he said that. Oh,
like
we need
those
to be
first
doing more,
episode. Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that like he was gonna leave. Like
it. I think it meant like in hindsight, like now think about it, like I think it was trying to be like, dude, if you guys don't do something, I'm gonna go do something. And then we got like the Cody episode where like even Cody decided to leave and do something. And I think this is it was like hinting consistently with his character. It just I feel like we kind of forget a lot about that because those two episodes were kind of just there. And even last week, like they were all
I don't even remember what
together,
was last week. Oh, the Gunji episode,
Gunji. Like they were
which
yeah.
was still a good episode, but we didn't really see it point towards anything. But
Yeah.
um, but I personally like I just don't think that they could have put more effort into showing him being discontent and maybe wanting to leave. Or like they could have put more Easter eggs or not Easter
Yeah,
eggs.
I feel like they could have probably done it a little bit more, but I knew when he was talking to them, like I was like, he's gonna leave. He has to leave or they have to step up. And honestly, I'm more sad that the Bad Batch didn't step up. Like in the whole concept of them not fully joining is for Omega to be a kid or whatever, like to protect her, but clearly they let her be a bodyguard of a person, like of a high person. Like that was her job. This episode was to be a bodyguard. Like they're willing to let her just go do that by herself and how passionate she is about doing something and helping. I don't understand why they just don't dive in. It's kind of frustrating.
I don't know. I think being in the Senate building was a fairly safe job, even though the only thing is I'm surprised that
They don't,
Rampart
yeah,
didn't recognize her
that was my thing too. I'm like,
because now
dude,
I'm gonna
you
have to
haven't.
like go back in season 1 and like, did he ever
See her?
know
I feel
that
like you would
Omega
have.
was with them?
Chat, help us out.
Like, did he ever see her? Because like she was kind of she was openly walking around Camino and people knew Omega, but she was not really shared with the rest of the galaxy. Like no one really knew other than people on Camino. So
Yeah,
like maybe he
it was
never.
kind of confusing because I thought when he walked up to her and Omega was behind her, I assumed that he was gonna see Omega and like start like freaking out.
Right.
But then that didn't happen, and so I was like,
Or I thought
hmm,
that maybe he wasn't gonna freak out, but he was gonna then realize walking away something's gonna be like, oh, the
trigger.
Bad Batch are still alive or something like that. But
Yeah,
I guess I just assumed that he knew Omega, but I don't going back. I don't know if he ever
I don't
knew she
remember.
was with them or what. Even though Crosshair would have known, but he kind of didn't
I
always
think
share
I
information.
really hope next week episode is a crosshair episode.
Well, next week's episode is called "The Crossing," I believe. So
Yeah,
I don't know. That could mean a
I
million
I
things,
I
but
think if we get a crosshair episode like after the fact, because now they're for sure gonna start recruiting people for to join the Empire and different. They're not using clones anymore. I think that's gonna be a big test for Crosshair to see what's he doing, like where's his loyalty
Oh, he's probably gonna get frustrated working with,
with scrums.
because like he worked with those one elite trooper like last season, but they were like best of the best that could be recruited. But when you got schmucks from all around the galaxy that have never shot a blaster before joining the military, and he has to be like leading a squad or something of incompetent, he might get really frustrated.
Yeah.
So, well, we might as well try and go through these episodes. We got a lot to cover because this is jam packed stuff. So I might kind of just maybe gloss
Skim through
over
it a little
things
bit.
a little bit, but
You see what Reed said in the chat?
yeah, I thought Rampart would recognize her because she wasn't standing next to Nala Say in the first episode when Rampart came to see the bad bitch. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. So I feel like they, but I don't know. It's also she's aged. It's been probably like a year. She has longer hair.
Yeah.
She's just, I don't know. Kind of
I
weird
don't
that
know.
it's kind of weird that a Pantoran is walking around with a human, like a child walking
Randomly.
around. Oh, you need like high level security clearance to get into the Senate. Oh yeah, we can take care of that. And then it says a 14-year-old kid
Yeah,
like
I don't
walking
know.
around with someone not her species. Like, okay, but
Yeah, it was interesting.
all right.
But
Yes,
do you have comments from last week's
we
question?
do. Good thing you did that because we had a lot of responses actually. So last week I asked if people thought we would see Gunji again, and if we would, when. I'm just pulling that up right now. We had quite a few responses.
Gunji. I kind of already forgot about that episode.
Yeah, I was trying to struggle earlier. When I was like, what was last week's episode? But all right, so there's that name again, Lazalier. Who I was like, we could okay, tell us how to say your name.
Mm-hmm.
So this individual responded again and said, "It's pronounced. My name is Jonathan." So we'll go with that.
Okay, Jonathan, that's a lot easier, bro.
That's a lot easier. My name is Jonathan. My theory is we'll see Gunji again when Rampart attacks Kashyyyk to draw out the Bad Batch. Also, Venomore, the head Trandoshan who had that weird head, said, also Venomore's tiny head reminds me of the Goombas in live action Mario Brothers movie.
I was gonna say that last week, but
Which
I didn't want to
I
pull
haven't
Andrew.
seen that movie, but like I have seen images and clips, and I know what he's talking about.
It was in our meme.
I don't know.
It was in that video that Andrew made of you hating the first half of A New
No,
Hope.
that is true. I thought you remember it. All right, so that was Jonathan. Connor McClowski says, I think we might see him in later seasons of Ahsoka or Bad Batch. Could you bring back the Imperial Coliseum when all the shows are over or at any other time? Imperial Coliseum. It's hard to do that with two people, so we would have to get a special guest to
Maybe
break
that's what
a
we'll
vote.
do the live podcast.
At EmpireCon or live podcast, we could do
With everyone.
Imperial Coliseum. We could do
We'll have
that.
someone walking around with a mic.
That'd be cool.
That'd be sweet.
But yes,
we gotta create some. We're gonna create some fun ideas for that, you guys.
Yeah, so we definitely like doing the Imperial Coliseum episodes.
Yes.
But like you said, like we got all these shows and a lot of content, so we gotta try and fit it in somewhere. But we haven't forgotten about it, Connor.
No.
But Connor did say that he thinks that we could see Gunji in Ahsoka or Bad Batch. So
it'd be cool to see a Gunji live action and Ahsoka grown.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
So, and then Joseph says, I think he might come back and save the Bad Batch at the end of the season, which would be cool. Johan the Goat, which I believe he comments or likes a lot of our Instagram posts, says, I think he'll come back towards the end of the season and help the Bad Batch in whatever their ultimate struggle will be in the finale. P.S. Love your show. Greetings from Germany.
Ooh. Ooh,
So yeah,
that's
so
pretty cool.
Johan has been a longtime fan because we've always seen him post things on or comment or whatever on Instagram. So I recognize that name, so it's cool. Thanks for sending all of the love from Germany. Sending a voicemail. We'd love to hear an international voicemail.
Accent.
You could say, "May the force be with you" in German. That'd be cool.
That'd be sweet.
All right. And next, Nate Keeney says if they make a second season of Tales of the Jedi, he could appear in that. That would be cool.
That would be cool if they say how he got, like, they show the origin story of how he got off.
Out where how he survives Order 66. That'd be cool.
That would be sweet.
And then Elias says Order 66 flashback in the new Mando season. That's the only possible thing, sadly. So he thinks that he was there at the Jedi Temple during Order 66. So if we might see him in a flashback, which I kind of theorized last week that maybe he's the one
Save Grogu.
that saved Grogu, which would be cool, but who knows? So those are last week's questions, but
Before we dive in, we did have some news, Star Wars news. We have the date and the release date of Visions.
oh, that is true. Star Wars Day.
Yep, Star
May
Wars Day,
4th.
May 4th. So
Yes, that came out that last
Thursday, I
Thursday
think.
maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, so stay tuned for that. We'll be covering that in May.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing there's going to be Star Celebration is when? Is that
Isn't it
weekend?
that weekend? Yeah.
Might be like the last weekend in April or something. There's going to be
Yeah.
tons of news that, dude, I feel like this Star Wars
Oh, yeah.
Celebration is going to be the biggest celebration
packed.
ever with like announcements and stuff. Dude, they're having everybody appear there, dude.
Oh yeah.
It seems like every actor and actress ever in Star Wars is going to be
it's
there.
like, let's go to London. Yeah, because they're also like celebrating the 40th anniversary of Jedi. So Return of the Jedi, I should say. So they're celebrating the 40th anniversary of that. So they have like a lot of the original cast members going to be there, which is really cool.
Yeah, so
So
I think we're going to get a bunch of show announcements. We're going to get a bunch of trailers. I think we're going to get a movie announcement, the next movie, whenever that's going to be, which probably 2025 is my guess. But
that'd be sick.
there's going to be a
Kind of
ton.
ready to hit the theaters.
Yep. But anyway, we're already behind. Yeah. We got like 4 hours of content to go over, so let's jump into this.
Chill.
So we're on Coruscant, and Coruscant has never looked better in animation.
True.
And we're at the clone bar called 79s, which is a cool place to hang out where the clones go get their adult beverages, even though they're only like 10 to 13 years old.
Hey man, some of those clones look like
they've been through
a lot.
But we're in a clone bar, and two clones, Slip and Cade, are talking, and Cade is upset at Rampart for lying to the galaxy about what happened on Camino. I'm like, okay, what's the lie exactly? Because we didn't know if this was an official like what the official word is on why Camino is what it is now. Like we never got information. We just know that it was destroyed. So Cade is like, I sent a message to Rampart, like if he doesn't tell the truth, I will. And which was a stupid idea. Like stupid.
Well, even didn't his friend say that was so dumb?
Yeah, like what did you do type of thing.
Yeah.
And so so they started kind of like not arguing really, but they're kind of like disagreeing on how to move forward. And so then they leave the bar and they're still talking, and Cade gets sniped from across the way. And then Slip, the guy who survived, was able to escape. And so at first, like, oh,
he slipped out the way.
Oh, he slipped out. Yeah. Too bad you couldn't do that later on, but he so initially, okay, this is Crosshair, but immediately you see when you see like his silhouette and kind of like in the shadow of him walking away, I'm like, this doesn't look like Crosshair. I'm like, who is this?
I was really hoping it was like a legit bounty hunter that we knew.
Right.
I was
I don't
kind of
know.
disappointed in that.
I don't know who it would be. Like,
What's that? The lady in the Clone Wars?
Aura Singh.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see her.
Sniper.
Who was later killed by Beckett from the Solo movie, which is fun fact. Could have been anyone, but later on we'll talk about him on who exactly he is. But okay, who's this guy, and why isn't like Rampart using Crosshair? So it's like, what's going on? But then we finally get to the Senate building. We've been waiting for the Senate stuff all season, ever since the trailer last summer. We've been, okay, where's the trailer? I'm like, finally, we're gonna get Palpatine, because we saw Palpatine in the Senate. I'm like, this is it. This is the day. And so a bunch of the senators are arguing about the recruitment defense bill to start recruiting galaxy-wide troopers for a galaxy military. And so we learn here what the galaxy believes happened on Kamino, that a cataclysmic storm destroyed Topeka City as well as all the other structures on the planet and destroying it. Which later on, Bail Organa is like, that doesn't make sense. Which I'm like, okay, if this is this is what they believe. Like, okay, so now we know it's all a lie, blah blah blah. And so some senators are like, we need to get this bill passed. We got to start recruiting. It's, a military created by the people to protect the people, which is a thing that we've talked about. Like, if people are joining it on their free will, like, they're going to be more people are going to support it. But others are saying, no, like, we have our clones. Like, how are we going to take care of the clones that we already have if we're starting a new military? Like, what are we going to do? One says, well, we got to decommission them. And then the primary senator that we follow is Senator Chuchi from Pantora, which she's from the Clone Wars, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I've really, really, really liked them bringing her back in this role, because some people, they like to complain that there's too many cameos, like in stuff that
in Star Wars
that Dave Filoni is in charge of.
Well, but
like, this makes sense because in Senator Chuchi's arc in the Clone Wars, she's fighting on behalf of like another alien species on one of the moons of Pantora and trying to give them their freedom and their rights. And it's like, this is now a continuation of her having that same heart, where she sees the humanity of the clones and is fighting for them to be treated as equals. And so, like, I really like that they continued her story. And I love me some South African accent too. So it's always a sleeper. I always forget about the South American accent, South African accent, which I really like. It's kind of like a New Zealand accent, but it's more clear. Like, I don't know. I like that Pantoran accent, and I think the Pantorans
from South America,
South Africa,
South Africa. Jeremiah's single. Hit him up in the Discord.
Oh, thank you. I bought myself a box of Valentine's chocolates, and I'm happy with that. But
you like accents?
If you're from South Africa, send in a voicemail. I would love to hear your accent.
You would.
But yes, Senator Chuchi is rooting for the clones this whole time and is wanting some sort of like veteran retirement fund or something like that to like take care of the clones when they're being replaced. Like, and so And then
Which makes sense. Like,
right. And then Bail Organa, he comes in on his little flying saucer thing and says he's involved and basically on he brings up the point that the clone army was created because of emergency situations with the war, and now like to have a galaxy-wide military goes against what we were before the war. So it's like there's no point of creating a giant military again as a replacement. So there's just this argument back and forth.
dude, Senator Organa is like, that boy has been pushing buttons since day one.
Right. So Rampart is there. He has his own Senate seat apparently. Like what the heck? Like doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But he's there and he's kind of arguing, and so Chuchi's like, whatever. Like we need to delay. So they said like this vote has been delayed many times, and now they're delaying it again because Senator Chuchi's like, well, give me more time so we can ask the clones what they want, like how we could take care of them. And Rampart, is fine. Well, I'll listen to anything you or the clones have to say about future things, whatever. And so Palpatine is not there, but Masamita is there overseeing things. And they ask Masamita, like, what does the Emperor think about this? And he's like, well, the Emperor trusts the Senate can get things done without his help, type basically.
Mm-hmm. Also, Masamita, Dave Filoni gave him some props and cut his weight down a little bit. Made him look a little skinnier.
I think he looks shorter. I don't know if he looks skinnier.
Well, maybe that's what it is. There's something about him that looks a little different than I originally thought he looked like. But
I don't know. But then after this, it cuts to a scene with Masamita and Rampart talking, and they're like, "This is our plan's not working." But Rampart's like, don't worry, I got it. Like I got everything. I'm multiple steps ahead," which we find out he wasn't multiple steps ahead enough, like Palpatine was in this story. But whatever, it's expected. But next we go back to the bar where Senator Chuchi is talking with clones about basically retirement at some point. And the clones are like, no, like we want to be soldiers. Like we're out there fighting. And she's like, well, someday you're going to be too old to fight. And then what? And then they kind of get, you're right. Like we can't be doing this our whole lives. We're going to have some sort of thing. So they all then kind of band together. Like, all right, we're behind you. Let's see what we can figure out.
And the clone that she was talking to had like gray in his beard already.
Yeah, a lot of clones had beards. Like Slip had a beard. This guy had a beard. Which we saw some facial hair on.
I wonder if that's supposed to portray that they're getting older.
I think just the older ones have beards because they want to be more adult-like. Because when you're 13 and you start growing some facial hair,
you gotta let it go.
You gotta kind of show it off, like every middle school guy who can grow.
Yeah, I had a beard at 15, and
I started growing I was that guy in 7th grade. I had a little thin mustache on my
and you rocked that too. You did not shave that thing.
And I had that in high school, and then I started growing like in 9th grade. I started getting a little chin hair, and I was like, in high school.
But yours came in so hard. I feel like once it was there, though, it was like boom.
It was pretty.
Because I remember seeing pictures of you in on Facebook or something, and you were like younger, still in high school, but you had like a full on like goatee.
Well, I had a big goatee in high school. I was that guy. I don't know what I was thinking back then, but we all have our shameful stories of when we were.
Yeah. I had mutton chops for a little bit.
Mutton chops, you could probably pull off. Like some people they can just pull off a mutton chop.
Now, maybe I should try it again.
You could pull it off.
You think? Just
straight
up, no mustache, dude. I don't remember the last time I didn't have a mustache.
You could pull off mutton chops.
No mustache, there's some mutton chop. I don't think Steph would like that. I feel like it look older.
I don't know. I feel like you'd be more baby face if you shaved.
But then not.
And then like you have your smooth head, so it's like no head hair and then no facial hair.
Giant things on the side of my face.
But yes, so as Senator Tucci is leaving the bar, Cade, or sorry, it's Slip. Slip is the one who survived. Slip is like calls her back, like you can't trust Rampart. You know, the whole thing about a storm destroying the city didn't happen. It was purposely taken out by Rampart, like shut down. Like I was there when it happened.
Yeah, she's like, how do you know this? I was the one that was shooting.
Yeah, and
Like,
she's like, do you
whoa.
have any proof? Like, no, but it's on Rampart's ship. You just gotta get the information. Blah blah blah. And so she's kind of like feels like this is like new information. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? And so now she's kind of like worried. But then she has after this a meeting with she says she's going to set up a meeting with Rampart. And so Slip, he runs off to go into hiding. We see him kind of like down, kind of like in the underbelly, like
Slip in the shadows.
slipping around here and there. And he calls someone for help. And so at this point, we don't know who it is. For some reason, I was okay, the Bad Batch, because the show is the Bad Batch. I completely forgot about Rex.
Really? That's what you first went to?
I didn't really know who.
I was
like,
either
okay.
Rex, and part of me was like thinking maybe Ahsoka. I don't know why.
I don't know. I can't believe I forgot about Rex. Like,
I assumed it was Rex though because like the trailer. Like at this point, like the trailer is done. We've seen everything in the trailer at this point.
yeah. I forgot that, there's a scene where Rex calls in, like, hey, I need your help. Like, that's how the trailer ends.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Okay. So, makes sense because, yes, it's Rex that he calls later on, we see. But, Senator Tucci and Rampart, they meet together and they kind of like are weary of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's kind of this tension. And, Tucci was like, well, how did you survive the attack or the storm on Camino? He's like, oh, I was off world on a training exercise. And she didn't really buy that, but she didn't say anything.
And then she's like, he was like, well, if I was there, I could have saved people. It's kind of like he was like trying to say like it was a bummer I wasn't there because then I would have saved people and trying to make himself look good too at the same time. Like,
and then
what a scrub muffin.
That whole meeting, both of them were like so weary, even 10 times more going in. So he's now Tucci's on his radar even more than she was before. And as Tucci is leaving, one of her guards like, we have a secure comm has radioed into us, like we should answer this type of thing. And they're like, well, who would this be? Like she didn't know what was going on. So they go down to the streets of Coruscant and find their contact, and it was Bail Organa. Like, oh, cool. And they start talking, and he brings up, it doesn't make sense that the Kaminoans were killed by a storm. Like, it's specifically built to withstand storms and be completely submerged underwater, and they've endured thousands and thousands of storms. Like, why on earth would...
Yeah, they've been there forever. Like it really doesn't make any sense.
She reads comment. A scrub muffin. You always say that. It's just kind of funny that you say that. But
and you like muffins too.
I do.
Maybe we should play Chubby Muffin again at the con.
At Empire Con.
Yeah, that'd be like a game.
Here's the thing, only we can do that. We can't accidentally have one of our fans choke on a muffin and die. I'm sure we'll have a waiver for people to sign anyway, but like,
true, but that would be kind of fun. We can make Will do it.
I don't want Will to die.
Yeah, he's a mod.
We're not gonna sacrifice him to the muffin gods. Where were we? Oh, Senator Organa. So like we're talking about this city and like doesn't make sense, and she's like, well, I have information that it was taken out by Rampart, that it was specifically attacked and shot down, destroyed, which was news to Bail Organa, which he was surprised by it. So I was like, okay. And he's like, well, we're looking for the clone Slip. Like, I got my guards looking for him, but we can't find him. Like, he's our lead, blah, blah, blah. And so then after this, we see Rampart talking to this assassin via hologram. And he's like, of course, the voice of this assassin is jumbled. So we don't know who it is, whatever. But he's like, I need you to find this clone and take him out. And the trooper asked about what about the senator, and do what needs to be done. So they found out that she's following this clone, and Rampart ordered them both to be killed. And so Senator Chuchi and Slip, they catch up to each other. The senator finds Slip, and so like he's like, well, I wasn't expecting you. I'm waiting for a contact to go into hiding. I have a contact and get me in hiding, and they disappear, blah, blah, blah. And they start kind of like talking, and she's like, I need you to come back and talk to Sen. I need your help, blah, blah, blah. And then the moment you see Slip walking out into like an open area, I was like, dang it. And he gets shot, and he's down for the
Killed.
count. Like,
Instant heart shot.
except for when that Pantoran got shot like 2 minutes later, right in the chest, and didn't die.
It was in the right arm.
That was right on the rib cage, like right.
It was on the right side though.
It was on the chest. You're telling me if you got shot by a sniper right in your chest, you would be okay? Probably not.
He was fighting through it.
Unless he had some armor on, but I don't know. Like that was.
He ends up eating it later. So.
But Slip is killed. So then the senator and her 2 guards, they're on the run. One guard gets killed pretty quick. The other guard is running with her, and then he gets shot while they're entering into a building. But this is the one he survives. So while they're running through this building, it's like a factory building or something. Bunch of steam and fog and stuff or whatever get released. And
Yellowstone did say it was on the shoulder. He's watching it right now. He's trying to catch up with us. And then he also said that it was on his armor. So, yeah, right. I think he was good. He was good.
Right. But then that guard gets killed. And so then Chuchi's on her own. And so she goes up on a catwalk type thing, like bridge thing inside the factory. And in the smoke, you see a silhouette of someone with a gun. And...
Well, yeah.
And what are you going to say?
You see a shot, and it's for stun.
All right.
That's how you knew.
And it was Rex. And it was great because she recognized Rex because they worked together in the Clone Wars. So I really like that she recognized him. And so he's like, I don't know what's going on. I just heard gunshots, and I'm just, I know as much as you. So it's like, he doesn't know what's going on. And so they they capture this assassin, and they take off the helmet, and it's a clone. But Rex is like, I don't know what he is, which is a weird. Like, he knows just by looking at just the face that it was something different than just a normal clone trooper. So like, I don't know what that means. Like, what is he if he's not just a regular stormtrooper? Like, because we learned that his identification number has been taken, like erased,
removed,
or something like that. And so it's like,
it almost seemed like he was like, maybe Rampart made him, or he wasn't like finished, and Rampart took him before he was like finished.
I don't know, because
and Crosshair trained him to be a sniper.
I don't know. It wouldn't be Crosshair, I don't think, training him.
It
seems like
it was
done.
Weird. They don't really answer that well.
Right, because next episode we see him after he's dead. Spoiler alert. But like, I thought Omega was gonna recognize him, and maybe like he was another like experimental clone or something. I thought she
Mm-hmm.
was gonna recognize him, but that didn't happen. And so like I don't know, but
Ooh, that's a good theory.
I see what Reed said. Maybe these assassin clones are what they have Nala Se working on at the end of season 1. That it could be true.
Maybe we'll see more than one of them.
Well, we need to see Nala Se soon because Nala Se is working on something, like Reed
Mm-hmm.
said, and so I'm just like I don't know because I think weren't the Kaminoans working on something like an upgrade to the clones or something? Because like they knew like their normal
I think
clones, they're running
so.
out of DNA. They needed like the host DNA, which was Omega or Boba Fett, to like replenish their DNA
Mm-hmm.
supply. And I thought they were working on the
Maybe
next
they were.
generation of
Maybe
clones.
this is the next
But
generation of
but
clones.
even then, this clone was still an adult, so it would have been like 10 years old.
Maybe they grow faster.
I don't know.
Maybe there's even a faster
So something's going on Camino, or not Camino,
or
but
off Camino. I should
off
say.
Camino. Um, and then so when they start trying to interrogate this clone after he wakes up, is tied up, this assassin, and he knows who Rex is, which he's like Captain Rex. Da, 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 da. Like, okay, so apparently he knows who Rex is. So is this a
Rex is a
trooper?
one man man.
Like, is trooper like? Has he worked with Rex in the past, but because somehow he's been altered or changed, like he doesn't look the same, so Rex doesn't recognize him. I don't know. But then he says that he's a believer, and then he bites down on his teeth, and he has like a suicide shock that kills
Shock.
him, which we saw in The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, that one guy bites his thing, which is a terrible place to have like.
Well, you know what it's supposed to represent, right?
What?
Nazis in World War II
No, I
had
know
it,
what that, but I'm saying like
and it was in their
you're
teeth too.
you're eating a couple something like some
You just
nuts or
don't,
something, and
dude.
it's
You have to bite. I think you bite down hard enough, you break a tooth, and that's how it gets set off.
dude. You right now you could not bite your
And well, okay, you have to bite down super hard.
right now if you tried to break your tooth by
Okay,
doing
I
it, you
understand.
couldn't do it.
No, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, how did the Nazis do it? They did it.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know
Exactly.
anything about how Nazis live their lives.
I'm just, I'm just saying, like, they take out a tooth and then, yeah, they put it in there where the other tooth is, so they know how to bite on that one tooth.
Right. But did you notice where they were though, and what Rex referred to it as? Like this garage is owned by 2 friends.
Yes, and it's those 2 girls at Ahsoka.
And do you remember their names? Pop quiz.
I don't know their names.
Trace and Rafa.
Yes, and they're busy
Doing
off
something.
world,
So yeah, so they have a hiding spot for Rex.
hanging out with Ahsoka, probably off world doing
Yeah,
stuff.
they're not hanging out with Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that. We don't know where Ahsoka is right now. With the
Rex
whole,
does.
I don't even know if he knows.
I think he knows.
I don't know. But that's the end of the episode, I believe. I don't think there's anything else. So,
Well, isn't that already in episode 2?
no, that's the end of episode 7 right there.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well,
that's the clone conspiracy.
yeah. Before we dive into episode 2, or episode 8, I should say, maybe we should take a little coffee break.
We could do that one instead. So, if you're trying to, unveil a conspiracy, sometimes you just got to sit down and have a hot beverage and plan out how you're going to present your case to a Senate.
Yes. Make sure
And
you don't bite down too hard either.
don't do that. But if you need some hot beverage to soothe your soul as you're planning this presentation to the Senate, what better place to get coffee or tea from than Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea? So let's take a listen to our sponsor for today.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right. Well, you might as well just quick jump into the next episode, episode 8, Truth and Consequences. And so we're back on Ord Mantell. I was like, I was already worried. Like, dang it. We're done with the clone conspiracy stuff. We're not going to hear that for another couple episodes. But we see Omega meditating. And I was like, what is this? Because last week, well, maybe she's force sensitive. You know, she's connecting with Gunji and she's meditating. And she's like, well, Gunji taught me how to meditate, but it's not working as well. And Echo's like, well, because he's a Jedi, it's different. But I'm like, I don't know.
I'm not. She's
I don't
not
know.
a Jedi, bro.
I don't know, dude.
She's not a Jedi.
Force sensitive somehow. Maybe she has like one midi-chlorian. I don't know. But
everyone
like,
has midichlorians.
fine, she has 2. Okay, I don't know.
Everyone has more than 2. It's just
I don't know.
She might be in the higher teens.
We don't know enough. We need more information on midichlorians. I know people hate the midichlorians, but I want to know more. That's all. Just the science nerd in me wants to know more about.
Well, how many did Anakin have?
Over 20,000, which is more than Yoda.
Maybe she has 1,000.
But if Yoda and Anakin were the most powerful, I feel like the average Jedi must be at least 10,000, like half.
Exactly. So maybe she has 1,000.
But that's just like the average Jedi. But you got like some weak Jedi, like 5,000. I don't know.
So you're asking what's the cutoff count?
I want to know where you have enough midichlorians to be force sensitive.
You only have 15,000. You're not in. You have to have at least $2,000. 2,000 midichlorian count will bring you over.
Something. I just want to know what that number is. Like, get me a canon number. Give me whatever.
Chat
or is it like midichlorian per like weight or something? Like, maybe Yoda's 20,000. Like, maybe because he's so small, the 20,000 is more powerful because it's so much more concentrated.
It's his body fat count, actually.
But if that 20,000 was like in a Wookiee, it would be like if Yoda had 10,000 or something. I don't know. I just want to know more. But anyway, Echo is like, what was he saying? I forget what Echo was talking about. But he was sad about something. He was just disappointed about... Oh, he was talking about how he's thankful for the Bad Batch because he would have been still stuck in Skanko Minor or whatever, where he was hooked up to a computer. But while he's having this conversation with Omega, Rex comes in and says, hey, guys, I need your help. Like, I have a mission for you. And he says, it's just a simple data extraction. Okay. Well, I'll see you on Coruscant. Whoa, Coruscant. Like, the heart of the Empire. And so it's like, yeah, it's hard to Empire, but I feel like it's easy to get in and out without being detected. But I was like, all right, we're doing this. We're going to.
Yeah, so why did they decide? Because I kind of missed that part because Miles started crying and I had to go upstairs. But why were they like okay with that part? Like going? He decided like it was gonna be quick and easy.
That, but I think Rex said, "I'll get you security clearance to get in, like to get bypassed whatever to get onto the planet, or something. I don't know."
They just trust and respect Rex enough that it doesn't matter really what he's.
Yeah.
They'll just do whatever he says.
So they get to Coruscant. They land. They go to Trace and Rafa's garage where they meet up with Rex, Senator Chuchi, and
A coffin.
there's that coffin. But first, they meet each other, and Chuchi sees Omega and is a little like confused, like, okay, what's this girl about? But yes, they go back into the back, and they, for some reason, when I watched it, like I knew the guy died, but I totally thought like for some reason he was just like in a cryo state, like he was still alive, but like I don't know. I don't know. I know it's stupid. I forgot that he killed himself. It's like, oh, he just froze him, like, and they're gonna keep him for later. I don't know. Maybe I was
Hyperbaric chamber.
maybe because I was thinking of like, Thrawn with the Magus.
Oh yeah.
For some reason I was thinking that, but I don't know why I thought that. But yes, but she shows him the assassin's face, and they're all kind of like, "What the heck's going on?" And they go over the mission again, like a data extraction thing, and so they decide that Omega is going to go with Senator Chuchi to protect her, and then the rest of the team is going to go to Rampart's Venerator. I don't know my ships. Venerator. To do the mission. I'm like, okay, this is the plan. And so we then go to the Senate building, and Omega is with the Senator, obviously, and they run into Rampart, which we discussed earlier. Like, why didn't Rampart recognize Omega? We got to go back and figure that out. But then Rampart sees Masamita. Yep, excuse me. Like, he was just like totally oblivious. Like, maybe he was just in such, like, his mind was so focused on something else, like he didn't even think to remember who Omega was in the moment. He just kind of like just left the conversation right when he saw Masamita. I'm like, okay.
He was so distracted.
Yeah. So
maybe that should be our question. Why didn't Rampart know who Omega was?
Nah, we can come up with a better question than that. Maybe we could come up with who's going to win the Super Bowl or something.
Ooh, we all know who should win the Super Bowl.
Just because that's who should win doesn't mean that's who will win, Drew.
True.
But yes, so then Omega is shown the Senate chamber, and so she's like super like excited to like look and see this huge building and all the seats, and Chuchi is explaining to her how things work, and Omega is surprised that the clones don't have their own representative and all that jazz. And then we meet up with, does Organa come to that Senate seat or something? I can't remember, but they start talking to Organa again. And, they start walking down like an alley. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
They meet up. And because like, Chuchi's like, can you keep it secret? So like basically listening on Organa's conversation with her. So I'm like, okay. But he's like, you should really talk with the former Kaminoan senator, Holly Bertoni. Which do we know that? I can't remember if we met this senator before.
No, when I don't know. I didn't recognize it, but honestly thought when he was gonna say something, I thought he was gonna say Ahsoka.
Why would he talk about Ahsoka?
I don't know.
This has nothing to do with Ahsoka. But he's like, go talk with the Kaminoan Center, and he brings up the point that like funding that was supposed to go to Camino ended up getting diverted and was put somewhere else. Like, follow where the money goes. Like, that's where you're gonna find all the information. But so they set up the meeting with the senator, and she does not like this. Former Senator Hallie Bertoni was like, doesn't really want to give information or talk because she's like,
Looking.
all my people are dead. There's like a few scattered out throughout the galaxy, but my species is dead. My people are dead. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, it doesn't matter. But Omega and
Reed
Chuchi
said
are
that
kind
she
of
was in the Clone Wars very early on.
possibly. I take Reed's word for it.
Yeah.
But which doesn't make sense why. That's the one of, okay, you know how like there's this thing about Star Wars where like, I feel like they're just making stuff up as they go type of thing. Like, no one knew about the Kaminoans, and the planet was deleted from the archive. But then there happened to be a senator from Camino. Like, was the senator not implemented into the Senate until the war started? Like, I
don't think so.
don't know.
I
Because
don't think
if it wasn't on the radar, like if there wasn't a Senate seat before Dooku deleted the archive,
yeah,
like that means they never knew of this planet ever. Like, they never had a Senate seat, like,
or they just never had a seat. And then once they got the clones, then
but if they're part of the archives, wouldn't that mean they'd have a seat in the Senate?
Well, it doesn't mean that they're part of. Like, they could have been a little, like, maybe part of the Outer Rim.
Kaminoans are in the Outer Rim, I think. Yes.
So once they got the clones and they started working with that planet, then they decided to give them a seat, I think.
Maybe.
Because like there's no representative for Tatooine. Like, you don't get a representative if you're part of the Outer Rim. So because they were part of the Outer Rim, they probably didn't get one until after the clones were part of the war. Right. And then that's when, like, all right, we can have them as they can join us.
Right. But we do learn then that the Rampart moved the funds. And so Chuchi's like, well, you need to testify in front of the Senate to, like, help me accuse Rampart of all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. She's kind of like scared and whatever, obviously. But then we go to the heist scene where they have to infiltrate Rampart's venerator ship. And I don't know, I thought this was a fun.
I thought it was good.
I really liked it. I liked the visuals because, like, it's like at night in the dark, and it's just like we don't get to see a ship in this light before, like where it's landed in a shipyard. Like, we really see that unless it's like a junkyard on Baraka or wherever that planet is. But they sneak in like through like the tunnel system, and then they have to like jump on like a transport thing. Like, I don't even know what that ship was. Like, it's just a fast way to get around the shipyard. So they jump on underneath, and take us over the controls, and they fly on top of the venerator. That's how they get in. Funny thing about how Wrecker's still scared of heights, and Rex is like, "You're still scared of heights? Like, you haven't gotten any better?" And Hunter's like, "This is him getting better.
This is better."
Which is funny. So they break in. There's still troopers on the ship, this minimal skeleton crew, but they work their way through. And then when they get to the, what's the name of the
cockpit?
Not the cockpit. Bridge. That's what it's called. The bridge. There's some clones in there that they stun, and then they're trying to extract the data from the database, but then they realize, oh, because the main power is down, like we can't get the information unless we turn the ship back on. And obviously that's gonna alert everybody that something's going down. I'm like, this is nuts. Like, you gotta turn this
I
giant ship
enjoyed
on.
this because there wasn't a lot of build up to this heist.
Right, it just kind of happened. So it's like, oh, we're doing it.
You knew that like the big boys got it covered, and because Omega wasn't involved, they didn't have to have us explain everything.
Right,
Like we
and
just trust that Rex and them knew what they're doing, and I
we
thought
didn't have to have Omega like slip and fall and is hanging off an edge or something, and they have to like
I don't know.
stop.
I enjoyed the heist because it was like quick, easy in the sense, but like also like we trust them. We knew what they're doing. We got enough information that we didn't need a full breakdown story of what they're actually doing in the heist. Like I liked that part.
Right. So right when they turn they reboot the ship, the clone, whatever people get alerted that there's an unauthorized restart of the ship, and so then everyone's being sent to, like, first it's like people on the ship. All right, go to the bridge. Like, we have unauthorized access, and they kind of like start moving things outside to like get ready, and then, so Tekka, he's getting the information, extracting the information while they're holding off clones that are coming, and then they start like they turn the ship on and they start to turn the thrusters on to like move it, and then like all the clones are then alerted, like go go go, like, and so like even like starfighters are alerted, which what are they gonna do? Like I don't,
Maybe
they're
they're
not gonna,
afraid they're gonna take it away.
I don't know, but like I don't know, I felt it was kind of stupid. But then they turn on the turrets and they actually killed 2 clone ships, like ships that are flying by. It's like they finally killed some clones, like, which is interesting. That I didn't. I was like, oh, can they put stun on these things? Like, no.
Turrets.
But so then they are fighting their way through the ship to get out, and then they get to the escape pods, which are not operational because the ship's not fully on yet or whatever. And Tech is like, oh, that's okay. I'll take care of it once we're going. I'm like, what? And so they release all the ships, the escape pods out of the ship, and somehow Tech is able to still like somewhat steer it to where they entered the facility. And everyone's like, oh man, that was a good landing, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, I was 6.4 meters off, not my best work. Like an unsteerable thing gets within, what's it, 6.4, so that's like 20 feet from where he wanted to land, which is pretty impressive. And so they have the data, they're making their way, they escape, and they like pass it off to who was there? It was Rex and someone else was driving the ship, or the speeder. I can't remember who it was. Who was all there? Was it Rex and someone else? Who was in the driving the speeder? Was it just Rex and the speeder? And then Omega jumped on the speeder with Rex?
I don't remember.
Something like that. So they're on their way to the Senate to get this information, because as they're speaking, like they're doing the final like thing to do the voting on this recruitment bill. And so this is where Chuchi, she accuses Rampart of moving funds because she has the Kaminoan senator there. Like, you've like diverted funds, blah blah blah, and then accuses him of attacking Kamino and destroying the clone facilities, and the whole Senate is in an uproar. And Rampart's like, well, I'm not going to entertain this conversation because there's no information. And so then the Kaminoan starts like, where's your information? Like, I don't know, it's coming, blah blah blah. And then Omega runs in to Bail Organa's Senate seat and like, here, go go go. And so Senator Organa delivers the evidence, puts the data thing in the display thing, and we see a huge hologram of footage from the Kaminoan attack, and I completely forgot from the trailer that when we see Palpatine, we see
Blue in the background.
the Kaminoan in the background being destroyed. I remember that now that we saw that, so now I'm mad. Well, I'm happy that I didn't remember that, so it was more of a surprise for me when I saw it in the episode. But
It was
then,
Echo and Rex in the speeder. Just so you know.
and so everyone now knows that Rampart has lied to the galaxy about what happened and all this stuff, blah blah blah, and the Senate, everyone in the Senate is yelling and screaming, like all mad, and then you hear some beeping going, and the music changes, and you see the center podium with Emperor Palpatine rising to the center. And I'm like, this is
so intense.
I'm so scared. Like, this, what is he gonna say? Like, what is? I'm like, what is Palpatine gonna do now? His plan has been thwarted. He loses. Like, this is a win for the rebels, and he's basically like, he's like, we now believe these accusations that Senator Chuchi's brought up. Like, thank you for this. Guards, arrest Rampart, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I promise you he will be punished for his crimes, blah, blah, blah. And keep in mind, this is Ian McDiarmid voicing this, which is one of the coolest voices in all Star Wars, which Drew stood next to in a urinal at ICCC, like in the bathroom in Nashville, which is the highlight of your life.
Yep.
It's going to be downhill from there, but
thanks.
unless when you go to another con and there's another Star Wars person there and they go in the bathroom again.
If he's at another con that I go to, I'm getting an autograph now, and
Good
I'm
luck
gonna
with
make
that.
him say toilet.
But yeah, so then Palpatine's like, this is a issue within our own ranks. Like, I'm basically saying I'm embarrassed that this happened, but he's like, but he's not the only one at fault here. Someone else is to blame. Okay, what? The clones blindly followed these orders to do this. Therefore, they can't be trusted, and we have to put forth this bill. So either way, this bill was going to go through, whether the lie was believed or the truth came out. Palpatine had it set up where no matter the outcome of what people believed what happened at Kamino, people were going to get behind, the Senate was going to get behind the recruitment bill. And I'm like, Palpatine did it again. Like, the master, like, strategist, just playing both sides at all times. It's why I love Palpatine. He's all the way back to our first episode of Empire Radio. He was in my top 5 characters of all time in Star Wars. So that's it. And so then, I think my recorder just got twitched, but I think we're good. So the episode ends with them back at the garage talking about what happened, blah, blah, blah. And they start kind of like saying their goodbyes to Echo. And I'm like, huh? And so Echo is leaving the Bad Batch and joining Rex. And Omega is she's torn. Like, she's
sad.
Shocked because, like, everyone else knew, but no one wanted to tell her, apparently.
No, yeah, it seemed like it was like probably something leading up or following that heist conversation, and so she wasn't there. So when they kept saying like goodbye or all this stuff to him, and it makes sense because the beginning of the episode, he was explaining why he joined the Bad Batch and like his whole origin story. So if you look at it in hindsight, you kind of figure out that this potentially might be. And I was going into the season thinking that he was gonna die. Like, I'm like, Echo is gonna die, or someone's one of the Bad Batch members is gonna die, and I think this is their way of doing that without actually doing it.
Right.
Like,
'Cause
I think they're getting rid of his character in the sense of like he's there. We'll probably see him at the end of this season. Maybe he will die still, but
Well, because I was just thinking how, Rex has been will be doing stuff for quite a long time, and then when we see him in Rebels, he's kind of retired with Wolf and Gregor.
yeah.
Now we've met Gregor last season. We haven't seen him this season, but
Mm-hmm.
That means Echo is joining this team that Rex has, but Echo's not there in Rebels. So what happens to Echo between now and Rebels? He probably dies. Like,
Well, he did say at the end he'll be back, and this isn't like maybe he ends up joining the Bad Batch again.
I'm
And
sure we'll see Rex and Echo again by the end of the season. Probably
yeah,
Gregor too. I'm
maybe
excited
Wolf
to see.
finally.
I'm ready to see Wolf. Like, he's
Commander
cool.
Cody even.
Might see Commander Cody again. Like,
It would have been interesting if instead of Rex, Commander Cody was the one that he called.
that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
Because then Cody could still be like an inside man.
Mm-hmm. Or Cody was the one that actually called Rex instead of Slip calling Rex. Like,
Right.
Slip called Cody. Cody showed up. Slip's dead. Then he calls Rex, and then Rex.
Right.
That would have been kind of cool.
But then, I guess Cody did go AWOL. Forgot about that.
Yeah, but AWOL, like we all know, he probably called Rex.
I don't know, but he wouldn't know. He wouldn't know that Rex is
I
alive.
think
No one
people
knows.
know.
Nobody
How
knows
did this
that.
guy get Rex's number?
I don't know.
He slipped into his DM somehow.
I don't know, but no one knows that Rex is alive because it's assumed that he died on the ship with Ahsoka and all those guys. So
I love how you didn't laugh at when I said he slipped into Rex's DMs.
no, I heard you.
Oh.
I just didn't laugh. And so I'm guessing we'll see him all again at the end of the season at some point. Because we don't know if we're getting to season 3. Like, I feel like they could.
We probably will at this point.
I don't know. I think this could be the last season, and they'll just come up with a new
show.
Be a Rex show. Rex, Echo,
live action.
Gregor. They're not gonna do a new animated show.
Oh, dang it!
They're probably gonna do. They could do Rex, Echo, Cody, Gregor, Wolf,
Omega. Oh, that would be sick, bro.
The Bad Batch. Now it's the Good Batch. Like
the Clone Batch. Oh, you okay?
Yeah,
that's all you wanted.
But like, I don't know. I think they probably won't do that just because it's too similar to the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
But
if anything, we might just get, like, the whole Bad Batch team dies, and Omega will have her own private show.
Right.
But kind of lame.
But yeah, so
we'll cover it just for you guys.
Yep.
Whatever they come out with next.
But I think, they brought up in this episode the idea of decommissioning the clones. Mm-hmm. And that word was used in Rebels when talking about the clones, that how all the clones were decommissioned. And so what does that mean? We don't know. I think that might be our Q&A for Spotify. What do you think it means to have the clones decommissioned? Does that mean they're just kind of phased out and they can do whatever they want? Are they killed? Are they
they just all become homeless and beg like that one clone in
the Kenobi series?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna kill all the
for sure, killing anyone that was on that ship. But I don't know, like, is this part of Palpatine's plan and then he's getting punished, but then he actually doesn't get punished?
Well, who? Rampart?
Like, my question would be, what are they doing with Rampart? I don't think this is the last time we see of him. because he's also hiding the fact that the Bad Batch is still alive.
Right. Maybe we'll ask that one instead.
Yeah.
What is going to happen with Rampart moving forward?
Well, what we should really be asking is, what does Lucy have for us today?
That is true. Because Lucy's part of every episode. She has important things to say, and she always has a great commercial for us.
True.
And so you might not know what to think about Rampart, but if you are an artist, this is going to be inspiration for you to come up with some great art. I don't know if that's a stretch. Sorry. I try to come up with a good transition. But if you are an artist of some sort, take a listen to this commercial.
Hey everyone, Lucy here, and I'm pleased to tell you that some of my fellow Empire Radio listeners and I made a fantastic original Star Wars audio drama, all through sending voicemails to the pod. It's called the Voicemail Cinematic Universe. Here's the thing, we need your help. The Empire's goal is to get an illustration made by us listeners for every single voicemail, and we have quite a ways to go. So if you have any sort of artistic abilities, join the crew. Any type of media is welcome. Lego scenes, digital art, paintings, you could even make food art. If you answer this call to action, there's a link in the description that leads directly to a Google Doc. It tells you exactly how to submit your art. This whole VCU project will be 100% fan-made, and we can't wait to see everyone's work. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
All right. So I think that's about it for this episode.
I'm excited to see if we actually get a good episode, like a juicy episode next week.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's called The Crossing. So they're probably trying to mislead us by like thinking it's a crosser episode when it's just a crossing where it's like a bridge. They have to get across or something.
Probably. On some speeders.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's it.
Yeah.
Very, like I said, this is probably my favorite 2 episodes in all Bad Batch. So
It's
much
good.
intense like story and
The
it's
music.
everything.
When
Music,
Palpatine,
dude.
that
When
gave
he
me
was
chills.
rising out of that, like this.
Yeah. That's probably the last time we see Palps, let's be real, on this show. Season.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we would see him again.
I think I feel like we're gonna see Palpatine in season 2 of Andor,
Gosh, I hope so, bro.
but we're not. That's gonna be like, I think they saw something like they just started filming episode or season 2 of Andor or something.
Well, good, get him in there.
But like, it's still we're gonna not see that for probably another year at least. So
is Ian supposed to be at Celebration?
I don't think I've seen him. He's like the
He's
only
not
one that
there.
hasn't been announced that's gonna be there. So,
Yeah.
but
I wonder if that travel is just a little bit much for him.
isn't he from London, like England or something? Like he's
No.
probably he has an accent. He has a British accent, doesn't he?
No. He just does it when he's acting. He's not from there.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, there's no way he flew to Nashville. If he
He's a Scottish actor. That's what it is. He's from Scotland.
yeah, but I think he resides in the States.
Is that the same island? Same island as that's the United Kingdom, right? It's all the
I
same.
don't know.
He'll be there. He's got to just.
But the thing is, I think he might resign in the States now, though. Like, I think he lives in the U.S.
Yeah, but it's just an excuse for him to say.
But
meet up
dude,
with his
he's
family.
old, bro.
Dude,
Like flying might.
He's only 78. He's still got a good 20 years left in him, dude.
Dude, I hope.
That being said, let's transition over to voicemail time.
It's voicemail time.
All right. Well, we have 3 voicemails tonight. 2 from Nate from the Spotify Q&A that we read every week. and then one from Addie. So these two from Nate, I'm gonna play back to back because they're both like related to each other. So I'm gonna play one, and don't answer the question until I play number two. So
Gotcha.
number one.
Hey guys, this is Nate again, and today my question is asking you, what do you think about The Office? Have you seen it before? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Anyways, thanks for making great content. Bye.
All right, voicemail number two from Nate.
Hey, this is Nate, just confirming on the first voicemail that I am talking about the US version of The Office, not the UK version. Also, what is your favorite season of The Office if you have seen it? Also, congrats to Drew for the Chiefs making the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are probably one of my second favorite teams in the NFL because I have some family members that live in Kansas City. Anyways, bye.
My boy Nate.
First of
coming
all,
through.
You didn't do anything to get your team to the playoffs, so don't
Ah.
pretend like it was like because
I
of you.
rooted.
But yes, The Office, and no one who's ever watched the British version. Like, come on,
I tried it.
it's not as good. But yes, I have watched The Office. I've only watched it through once. I was trying to think like when I did this, so I'm
You
pretty
only watched
sure.
through it once.
I'm pretty because I never watched it. I never watched it live. Like blah 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 blah. And so like I think what happened was, I remember they announced like The Office was going to get taken off of Netflix,
And then you're like,
and I was like, and so I believe that because when I moved into my apartment September 2019,
mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure because I took a week off of work just so I could move in and unpack and set up my apartment and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure I started watching The Office then. So like the week I moved into this apartment in 2019, I was watching The Office. So I binged that because I think at the first year is when they were getting rid of it on Netflix. So I was like, I gotta finish this. So I binged it. So I enjoyed it. I guess that first season was like first 7-8 episodes was kind of rough. Like I almost gave up on that show. But then I thought it was really
I always
funny.
tell people if you want to watch The Office, start with season 2, watch it, and then you can go back in season 1, and it helps.
Okay.
Like season 2 is when it becomes a show.
Because like the first season is only like 8 episodes, right?
Yeah,
Or
but
9,
it is
10
very
episodes.
similar to the UK. Like you think if you think that season 1 was hard to get through, that's what like the UK version is. It's very, 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 very dry humor. So like growing up in high school, I did not want to watch it because everyone was watching it. Like even in band, I remember we had a recital and we did the theme song for The Office. Like
What?
yes, like that's how hardcore everyone was. And I was like, I hate this show. I'm not gonna watch it because it's so dumb. Like only because it was just overhyped and I was like one of those kids that didn't want to watch it. And then when it was on Netflix, Stephanie was like binge watching it. We just started watching it, and then we got like tied in. And I think one of the first episodes that I went like I kind of watched it before that, but like what I always thought was the funniest episode was the when Dwight starts the fire. Like that scene is like so iconic to me and I love it. And now like you guys don't know my wireless network is called Threat Level Midnight. And so The Office is one of like the best things. It sucks now that it's on Peacock because I don't have the premium of Peacock and I don't want to watch commercials. So I don't really watch it right now, but it's one of those shows that we always go back through and try to watch on repeat. So yeah, I love it. I don't know what season is my favorite. Honestly.
It all blends together. I couldn't tell you what happened in what season.
Yeah, like
But-
I don't know. I think the whole show is good. Like if you watched my con for Twin Cities Con, I bought a Threat Level Midnight poster.
Oh, he's
If you're
about to
watching
show
the
it.
video right now, there it is. It's pretty dope. So, Nate, if you're
Show
just a
the
listener,
other camera so Twitch
Well,
can.
I'm pretty sure they can see it a lot of times on the live stream, but
No, it's.
yes.
I see both screens but
So yeah, if you guys, I just showed it, so if you are listening, you don't actually watch it on YouTube, go to YouTube and watch it because you can see the poster. But yeah, I really really like The Office.
I
Live
still
as
watch
well.
like
clips.
clips of it though. Like,
Yeah,
it'll pop up on YouTube and I'll click on it, or
or like Facebook, like Reels or
Facebook or
something.
Reels or something. There's always. I like watching the bloopers too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, the white character is hilarious.
they're all hilarious in
They're so good, bro.
their own way.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, thanks, Nate.
Yeah.
Good question. I usually don't watch too many comedies. Like,
You're not a comedy. Well, you've seen
I
Big Bang.
I watch Big Bang Theory and that's it. Like, I guess I would prefer Big Bang Theory over The Office, but I don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah. But yes, go Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That's who I'll be.
Yeah, go Chiefs.
I'm rooting for them just because
Sorry, Yellowstone.
Drew is my friend.
So it's like Bengals should be in the Super Bowl. Well, you guys didn't pay your refs like we did.
But
so.
This Sunday is going to be a busy day for me because not only is it the Super Bowl in the evening, but after church, I'm starting my first tabletop RPG, and it's a Star Wars one.
Oh, wow.
So
you got a
I
busy
have
Sunday.
no idea what I'm doing.
Where are you guys watching? Are you watching the game?
No, it's after church from noon to 3. We're doing tabletop stuff, and then I'll go home and just watch a game at home, unless someone at church invites me over.
Yeah.
Or
I don't even know where I'm watching it. I just know I am. I might end up just watching at home by myself because Miles goes to bed at 7.
I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, for an Ahsoka teaser.
That'd be sick.
Dude. It could just be like a title screen,
No.
I don't need any scenes. Just give me a title screen. Give me a little bit of organ music going in the background. Just a little tease.
A date.
And a date drop. A release date would be, even if it was just like summer or fall. Like, just give me something to aim for. But I'm guessing we'll just get a Mando teaser instead. But
yeah, probably. But it would be sick. But yeah, I'm excited for the game. Dude, my weekend's actually slammed. My Saturday is like, been going to the Wilds game on Saturday, and then there's really good UFC fights Saturday night, so I'm gonna be up super late Saturday.
Well, get your rest.
Yeah.
All right.
Sleep is for the week.
Yes. But we got one more voicemail from Addie. And she has some exciting news for us. So let's take a listen.
Hey, Empire Radio, it's Addie back at you with another voicemail. So, me and my dad did the thing. We did a thing a couple days ago. We bought the general admission tickets to, drumroll please, ICCC! So yes, we're gonna be there, and I'm super excited. I hope you guys will be there. But if you're not, that's totally okay. And this brings my question: if you had to go to any con in the world, which one would it be? Anyway, have an awesome night, and may the force be with you. Bye.
All right, thanks, Eddie.
Yeah,
that is exciting news, and I think you did mention that you were gonna try and go, but now that it's official, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know if we're gonna go this year.
I know I'm not going. Drew, you can go. You can.
I was very.
Tanner gonna go again?
I think Tanner and Louie are planning on going.
Well, you could go.
I really want to go, but I'm also trying to go to Korea in like May, so I don't know.
What?
Yeah,
we're supposed to be doing Vision Season 2 in May.
we still will, but yeah.
Korea for how long?
For like I think 2 weeks at the most.
2 weeks.
We'll figure it out. I don't know. It's a lot of money, so we're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
So yeah, because her sister is currently teaching.
Oh, that's right.
In Korea, so we're gonna go visit her this summer, but we'll see. We'll see, but if not, we can figure it out. I will probably end up going to ICCC. I don't know. A lot of the people that I met last year aren't going, I don't think. And as of now, there's not a lot of big stars like last year that are going to
they're
be
all
there.
going to Star Wars
Yeah.
Celebration, so
I don't know. But one con that I would love to go to would be Star Wars Celebration.
yeah.
That's one that the next announcement of one, if it's in the States, we're going. Like, we got to figure it out.
They got to have it back in.
They have it in Chicago again, bro. We got to go, bro.
Yeah, we'll
People
go.
were saying, like, people said that was one of the best ones.
If it's in Chicago,
oh, we're going.
It's doable. We'll probably go that. But like, they're not going to do it in Minneapolis ever. Like,
no, heck no. Why
no one cares about
do
Minnesota. The only con in Minnesota is Empire Con.
True.
So, Addie, you're invited to Empire Con, and then no promises, but we're thinking maybe next week we'll be having the sign up available.
Yes.
No promises, but for sure by the end of the month, we're just working on the website, getting that set up to have the ticket ordering and stuff available. So that's almost done. But if I were to go to a con, yes, it'd be Star Wars Celebration. I don't know, like San Diego Comic-Con would be cool, but
New York City Comic-Con would be cool.
I don't want to go to New York City. Dude, you could not pay me money to go to New York City.
But my thing is, those cons are so big that like I would rather just go to like a Star Wars driven con.
But it's also like I would love to like be in a panel and see like a trailer drop with thousands of people, like an Avengers trailer or something like that. That'd be so fun. But Star Wars Celebration, you'll get trailers too. So,
we'll for sure. I mean, I'm saying right now, for sure, the next Star Wars Celebration, I will be at if it's in the States. Now, if they go to Japan, I'm gonna wait again on that one. So they went to Japan not too long ago.
Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah.
Not recently.
No, it's been like
pre-Disney takeover, probably.
No, I think it was like the first one after.
I don't even remember that.
I remember it because a certain other Star Wars podcast always talks about their experience at that con.
Oh, let me take a look.
Yeah, let's see when that was.
2008.
Oh, so yeah, it was before Disney took over. Isn't that crazy? They went to Japan.
So during the Disney era, it has been in Florida, Germany, Anaheim, London, Orlando, Chicago, Anaheim, and now London. So it's usually going to be in Anaheim or Orlando is where it's most likely going to be. So
yeah,
I'd rather go to California than Florida.
I disagree with that a lot.
I don't want to go to Florida.
We could go hang out with David in Florida. Will could come down.
Yeah.
Like, Florida is not. It's so much less people. California's so packed.
Humid. It's so humid, though.
Oh, who cares, bro? You're inside the whole time.
I hate humidity. I hate hot weather.
I've always said if there's any other state that I would end up moving to, it'd probably be Florida.
That makes sense.
Because there's also like I have family there already, so it would be pretty easy.
All right. Well, thank you, Addie. I hope you have fun at ICCC, however many C's there are.
ICCC.
But definitely take some pictures, take some videos, and share it with us. You could maybe be our Empire Radio correspondent, like in the field.
And like I said, if I'm able to go, I'll definitely go.
All right.
It's just expensive.
Well, thank you, Eddie, and that's the end of the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
So let's go over socials, and we can get out of here. So if you want to get connected with Empire Radio, the best way to do that is to click in the description below, the links.co/Empire Radio link. It's a landing page for everything: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, our fan email, the VCU Illustration Project link. What else? The needlesslynerdy.com network that we were part of. Go check that out if you want all things nerdy. And that's about it. And also, if you want to join us for EmpireCon, all that information, all the signups, all the links for that are going to be in our Discord. And so if you want to join the Discord, that's going to be the best way to get connected for EmpireCon, and the only way, really. There's a few exceptions. If you're a minor and you're not allowed to be in a Discord, like your parents will let you or whatever, like shoot us an email and we can see if we can work something out. But for most of us, join the Discord. We have a separate channels and everything for EmpireCon. So like I said just a few minutes ago, sometime next week, we're hoping we might have that link ready to go to sign up. And so then we can start moving forward with that. It's only a little over 6 months away. It's going to be here in no time. So join the Discord.
Do it.
And in the chat, yes, Yellow Snow, minors are allowed, but you will need a parent or guardian with you. So, anything else, Drew?
Nope.
All right, cool. Well, you have been listening to another Bad Batch-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.